Join me as I show you everything Frisky the Marmalade Cat, does in a day. I wake up at around 8 o'clock every morning. I'm a night owl, not an early bird. I'm definitely not someone who wakes at 3 or 4 in the morning. That's ridiculous. How do you do that every day? Crazy. Must be fake. Anyway, as I was saying, I wake up at about 8 o'clock every day in my lovely and spacious home. Which, fun fact, orange cats like myself should spend the whole sunny afternoons indoors because we have a higher chance of developing skin cancers than other cats. Something I didn't know before buying my home. So clever me. Then I go into the kitchen and have my owner prepare my favorite jelly meat. I have to pull at their legs for a bit before they'll comply. But they always do, eventually. They also have some fish oil and grass too because, for all my fellow long-haired orange cats and long-haired orange cat owning humans, this combination of oil and grass helps reduce shedding, which is something I and many other orange, well, I say long-haired cats in general struggle with. So give it a try if you haven't. I like mine mixed with my morning jelly meat for convenience sake, and because I prefer the taste. It's recommended to enjoy the cat grass and fish oil together alone, but I find no difference in mixing it with my breakfast, so enjoy any way that suits you best. After breakfast, I always have a good and vigorous wash. I wash my face, paws, chest, stomach, a little tricky after a big meal, back, a little tricky again after a big meal, and normally too, but easier for us than humans, my tail, and all the rest. I never have a water bath. It's unnecessary for cats. Our tongues do the job perfectly. Tongue baths also help our circulation and improve our health. They increase blood flow, evenly distribute natural oils around our bodies, and help remove dead fur. So all around better. Give it a try, humans. You could learn something from us cats. Oh, I almost forgot. I also have a good and vigorous scratch in bite session too. Got to remove those pesky fleas in my genome. Some days, today was one of them. If my owner sees me scratching furiously and has time or wants to, they'll give my fur a good and vigorous comb. It does hurt a bit untangling the knotted fur, and I hate to admit, I do occasionally go just a little bit feral. But I do appreciate their efforts since it means I will develop as many. Still some furballs, which are never pleasant or visually pleasing to witness exiting the body. So thank you, owner, for limiting my shame, if only by a minimal amount. I then try to return to my bed for a well-earned mid-morning nap. I say try because when I entered, my owner was fluffing up my nice giant pillow, my bed, and cleaning my shedded fur. Yes, you do still shed even with the fish oil and the grass, but it's much less with and without. However, and lucky for me, I felt my stomach grumble, so I hurried to my litter box. I'm not trained to use the human toilet like Whiskers and Oscar. I did my business, covered it, and returned to see if my owner had finished, which they had perfect. However, after all that, I decided to spend the morning outdoors instead. I wanted to absorb some of the sun's good vitamin D before the afternoon, since the hot afternoon sun is bad for us orange cats. The morning rays are good, not as strong, not as dangerous. I found a nice sunny spot on the back porch, on the bench my owners had out there, and a nice soft and slightly hard cushion my owners had left there too. Perfect. I curled up and enjoyed a nice and well-deserved morning nap with the sun warming my back. Perfect. Just afternoon. I know this because the daytime news always starts at exactly 12 p.m. And my owner, who works at home, enjoys watching it. So I headed through my cat flap. I might be big, but I can still get through one of them, and tried to snuggle up on the couch next to my owner. But they weren't having a bed. Yet fortunately for me, it was the braid, and my owner misunderstood my actions of satialness for nourishment, which to be honest, I was hungry. I'm always hungry, so this was well welcomed. I ate the portion of little dry canned biscuits, and fish oil, and the grass. Yes, I have the oil and grass multiple times a day. I was given and curled up on my own nice giant pillow, and went to sleep. Perfect. I must have been asleep for hours because the next thing I heard was my owner calling me for dinner.
Frisky dinner. Frisky, come have your dinner. Dinner, Frisky. It's your favorite jelly meat.
As soon as I heard jelly meat, I immediately rushed out and was greeted with a healthy portion of deli meat and again more fish oil and cat grass because I have it with every meal. Not too much each time, just a little bit, plus some cooked. I knew because it was hot chicken, which my owners were having for their dinner. After dinner, I decided to spend the evening and some of the night outside. I decided to spend the majority of this time off the property to explore the neighborhood and investigate what all the local felines were up to. I first surveyed my inn section, just checking everything was in order and if there were any unwelcome visitors present. There were a few sparrows and pigeons, but they're fine. I enjoy watching them, so they're welcome. Afterwards, I hopped the fence and entered our neighbors to the right property. They have a friendly orange cat like myself, who I enjoy visiting, and they enjoy my company. Yes, it's a he. Name is Ginger. Original, I know, and we've been friends for about 3 years. We met after his owners moved and brought him with them. He was new and a bit frightened, so I helped him settle in, and we formed a close bond from it. Following my visit to Ginger's, I ventured into the property behind both ours. As far as I know, no cats reside there. Yet the owner, a nice old gentleman, will feed me than any other cats if he sees us about, which unfortunately tonight wasn't the case. My last stop before home is the neighbors left to me. Now I have to be very careful here, because these people in a massive and aggressive dog, which doesn't take kindly to cats passing through its territory. I usually travel along the top of the fence to scout the dog's position. Of course, the canine is fenced in, so cannot exit its quarters and enter mine, giving me some assurance of safety. But the beast still could give chase if I dare enter its land. I say usually because today, for whatever my reasons, I braved it and entered the brook's lair. I set foot over the back fence and tucked it as I slowly moved inch by inch, centimeter by centimeter, around the perimeter, keeping a watchful eye to see if the creature would appear. This neighbor's house is positioned in the center of the lot, with a fence cutting through the middle of the structure, separating the front and backyard. The dog is always either inside, good for me, or outside in the backyard, bad for me. Today it didn't appear to be outside, so I stopped hiding along the fence line and ventured out into the open backyard, in full view of my potential foe. However, the moment I did, I heard the back door open, some muffled speech, and the dog. I froze. The dog sniffed and tasted my scent. It growled, turned, and made a beeline for me. I dashed towards the dividing fence and scrambled over just before it caught me. I sprinted down the driveway and front yard, exited, and made a sharp left into the safety of my home. And then through my cat door before curling and snuggling up in my nice giant pillow, and my adventure and my day as a whole.